Hello, everyone. How are we? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to yet another match preview show. It is Liverpool v Manchester United in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Of course, a bit of a shocking FA Cup so far in terms of quality today in certain game. But again, you've had an absolute stealer in Coventry Wolves. Again, we'll talk all about the FA Cup a bit later on. We're also going to discuss the Europa League draw as well. Get your guys' thoughts and reactions in the comment section down below. But as you can see, I'm joined by Ricky from the 1892 Reds TV. Rick, how are we? Hopefully having a good weekend.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Tired, but yeah, just been chilling out watching the football. Nearly tried to stay awake as long as possible for the Newcastle City game because that was awful. But yeah, like you said, the Wolves Coventry game was good. Cost me my bet, but we move on.
Hey, look, you win some and you lose some,
Mm.
but it's a bit of a shocker in that sense. And of course, obviously, you would have thought the Wolves would have beaten Coventry, but still, look, at the end of the day, that's the magic of the FA Cup, we should say anyway. But let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well on everything that we do mention tonight as well. Red Machines in as well, big up, hope you're doing well. Fish, I don't know. I think you're saying FSG. We'll speak about that in a minute. John as well. Hopefully doing well. Big up to Lee as well. Hopefully you're doing well as well, mate. Big up Con. Big up Ozan. Hope you're doing well, my friend. What we saying, lads? John saying hi. Thoughts on FSG buying a second club and how it could impact us. I'll answer that question a bit later on when we get into things. But will Cons a start for you, Con or Joe? Again, we'll get on the start 11 predictions pretty soon. But if you haven't been living under a rock, you guys would have seen already in the next round of the Europa League, Liverpool will take on Atalanta in the quarterfinals. Again, as you can see on screen, of course, the draw has been made overall, and here are the brackets, of course, of Liverpool do get past Atalanta. We will face either Benfica or Marseille in the semi-finals. Looking on the other side, again, really tasty draw in AC Milan v Roma and Bayern Leverkusen against West Ham United as well. Very, very good games. I would say maybe better quality than the Champions League in some sense, but when you look at the Champions League ties, again, very, very tasty in those sense as well. But Rick, Atalanta, probably the best draw we could possibly ask for. And considering the semi-final draw as well, of course, no English teams playing each other. And again, staying away from Bayer Leverkusen till potentially the final as well. But what's your thoughts on, first of all, Atalanta in the quarters and the draw overall?
Yeah, I thought the draw went the way we wanted it to. I think we've got the easiest side of the draw, if you want to call it that, with Atalanta, Benfica, Marseille. Compared to the other four teams on the other side, West Ham included, I think could do a job. Like I wouldn't put it past West Ham getting through them three teams. But yeah, for us, we've got a job to do. I think it's probably the toughest one out of the other two in the side we're on. Marseille, Benfica. I think Atalanta is probably the toughest ones out of the three. But yeah, I think we'll get the job done over there. Then we move on to the other game, whether that's Marseille, Benfica. I expect it to be Benfica at the two. I think they're just a little bit more quality in terms of starting 11 over there. Di Maria, Joel Neves, Rafa.
Florentino Luis.
Yeah, yeah. Florentino and Luis, who everyone was banging the drum about. Antonio Silva, they've got the young Trubin in goal. So, yeah, they've got a very strong squad, Benfica. So, it's going to be tough, but we'll take it with what was given to us. And, yeah, it just sets up a potential Alonso Klopp final for maybe their departing Alonso at Leverkusen and Klopp's fairy tale ending at Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. And if there is any Atalanta fans watching on like the repeat or whatever, obviously let us know your thoughts. But I think obviously we played them before in European competition. I think it was the 21 season. I think we played Atalanta home and away. I think we won both. Obviously, certainly away from home. I know obviously Diogo Jota got a hat trick against them back then. I think as Jurgen mentioned it yesterday in the press conference, not much has changed in the thought process of Atalanta. Obviously, of course, when you look at their team, I think for us Liverpool supporters, obviously we would have looked at Koop Miners the summer. I think he's their best player by a mile as well. Again, I'm not going to say I know Atalanta week in, week out and know what they're all about, but again, you know, as Ozana said, but they are sixth in the Serie A, which, to be fair, you know, it is a very respectful place to be in this area, considering how competitive it is nowadays in between that sort of area. Again, it's not going to be an easy game. It's not like Liverpool are going to do, you know, what we did against Sparta Prague. Again, I think if you look at Sparta Prague on paper, wasn't really expecting to win 11-2 on paper, but again, it was nice to see it happen. I know you're squinting, but to be fair, they only lost one game this season.
Yeah.
Before Liverpool, and now they've lost 4 this season because I think they got battered. I think 4-0 in between the 2 games as well. So not the best for Sparta Prague. To be fair, obviously their crowd was really loud at Anfield a couple of nights ago, but still, I can't see Liverpool not making the final. If I'm being honest, and yet Alonso final, it's there, the opportunity's there, but again, West Ham, it isn't an easy game. And I don't think when I say about the quality of the Europa League, it very much feels like a Champions League sort of, not type, but like, again, you've got Liverpool there, you've got AC Milan, Benfica's also there. Like, you've got Champions League presence in the Europa League. And look, we should be getting to at least the final, hopefully winning it as well. But let us know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comments as well about the.
I think it'll be in an English final.
Do you think West Ham go all the way?
Yeah, I think West Ham knock Leverkusen out in the next round.
I think we beat West Ham then in Dublin. I really do.
Oh yeah, listen, we should be absolutely walking this Europa League final. The Sparta Prague manager said it. We're a Champions League team in this competition. We shouldn't be in it. So yeah, whoever we get in the final, we win. But I do think West Ham get to the final.
It's weird though with West Ham because, and I was speaking to Jack about this, and it makes no sense with West Ham supporters at the minute because they're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. They're quite high up in the Premier League, but David Moyes is apparently going to get sacked at the end of the season. So I'm confused on, like, obviously you will know more because you're dad, but it's, for me, it's so mind-boggling the fact that they're doing so well on paper, but then when you listen to West Ham supporters, or you know, some West Ham supporters, you'd act like you're near relegation, like if you're Forest or someone like that. I think that's the weird thing about their season.
I do think West Ham have got a much better team than the football they play. I think the football they play is too defensive. They've got very good attacking players: Bowen, Kudos, Paqueta, even Ward-Prowse in there. They've got some decent defensive options. Alvarez at DM, Agard, Zuma. They got even the goalkeeper Areola. He played for PSG. I'm sure he played for Real Madrid as well.
Yeah. I think he originally come from Madrid.
Yeah, right? It's just the thing with David Moyes is, all right, they're doing well on paper and in the league, and they're obviously doing well in Europe. It's just the fans want to see better football from West Ham because of what they've got. But I don't get the moaning and stuff about him getting sacked. I think he's done a good job. I just think he needs to every time West Ham get a new striker, they end up selling him 12 months to 18 months because he can't get the best out of a striker. He wants a dog up front like Antonio who will just run non-stop like a workhorse.
Did I see something the other day that they've bought 28 strikers since 2015?
Yeah, they've bought loads of strikers. Halafer, who's now at Ajax, Dortmund, sorry. Scamacca, they've sent back to Italy. That Scamacca is an unbelievable talent and a good striker. He's done well in Italy. Come over here, obviously, Moyes can't get the best out of him. There's talk about Boniface from Leverkusen going to West Ham. I think also, is it the Stuttgart guy? Is it Gwazi? However you pronounce it. He's got release clauses. Talk about him going to West Ham in the summer potentially. But listen, if Moyes could get the best out of a striker, they'd have an unbelievable team, West Ham. But they're going to lose Paqueta, so we'll see what happens for them next season.
Yeah, it's going to be
Paquetá, as certain commentators call him. Which yeah.
What was it, like Bruno Fernandes, like Bruno Fernandes? Like,
yeah,
it's so stupid.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, guys, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments on it as well. Liverpool, obviously, pick up Manuel, hopefully doing well, mate. Saying Liverpool will beat Atalanta. They are no mugs, but still, then Marseille or Benfica, still Liverpool, too strong for both. It will be a Liverpool-Leverkusen final in Dublin. Again, it would be poetic if that was going to be the final, but again, we know football is very much a twist and turn game in that as well. But then now we'll batter Atalanta 7-1 on aggregate. I hope so, Rippershing. 5-0 at Anfield and 2-1 away. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. West Ham will have Wolves. West Ham will have Wolves, Leverkusen, Fulham, and Leverkusen. Tough stretch of games. Yeah, but it might be like last season, though. They are safe. They're not going to get relegated. They may just put all their eggs into the Europa League and see what they can do. They did that last season in the Conference League, and look what it did for them. You know, they went on to win the competition, and I think it was their first trophy in, was it like 53 years or something like that? Again, when you take it like that. But it's Leeds put there. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah. Again, I wanted West Ham personally. Something with it.
Yeah, their fan base on social media.
Yeah, like I wanted
need to
West
get out
Ham.
of City's arse. Like, I mean, the amount of West Ham fans are twerking for City on social media is disgusting.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you. Big up Geordie, but Geordie, your team is awful. Like genuinely. I turned that game off for Fulham Spurs. Like it was awful. Like, come on. Like what's happened with Newcastle? Like last year meant to be, what was it? This year, the start of the season meant to be going on to win the bloody league, and now 10th out of everything. It's bloody awful. And I know you got injuries, but still, that's in the you can't watch them injuries.
Get on with it, innit? That's what Liverpool keep.
That's indirectly too, Jordy. But if you listen to Twitter, it's a nightmare as well. But yeah, I just think the overall, obviously, as Olsen said, but there, you know, will it be Eddie Howe's last, or will Eddie Howe last until the end of the season? I think he will. Will he stay past that? Who knows? We're talking for the show. Do you want to repeat what you mentioned about half an hour ago?
What's that?
With the prediction thing.
Oh, what? No comment.
Yeah, we better not
mention. We'll see when I get named and shamed when we do our end of season review.
Oh, you're getting clipped. I'm gonna send you viral.
Mate. The amount of stuff I could have got clipped on with my prediction show at the start of the season for Liverpool this year, mate, I could be a walking meme.
No, well, 100%. Well, to be fair, it could be worse. You could have said that we could have got relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jose Mourinho, come and save us from this. You are Mourinho. Like, is that worse than Eddie Howe? Like,
mate, I don't get this. I hate the new generation of fans. Jose Mourinho will go down as one of the best managers of all time. He done well at Man United, got sacked for no reason at all. Spurs sacked him a week before a cup final, which is mind-boggling. He's just arrogant. That's all he is. If he could adjust to the way football's evolving, in terms of
Be a good coach.
trying to park 10 man behind the ball and hit teams on counter attack. He done well at Roma, got him to a final of the Europa League. It's just he's a great manager. If Newcastle get Mourinho and they back Mourinho with, to be fair, the FFP is changing. It's looking very good.
Jack,
Very good for.
He did win a European trophy at Roma, but it's also like Premier League football. I don't think he's good enough now for Premier League football.
I do if you chuck millions at it, like Newcastle could potentially do down the road.
But they can't do that. Like, look at FFP. Look at them lot have been whinging because they can't do much. Like again, what was it? The Almarim deal that would have saved them, I think, with FFP. Even they even come out with a statement, didn't they, trying to explain what was going on in terms of the FFP allegations or whatever they were getting accused of in January. But I don't know.
They lose Isaac in the summer.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think they Newcastle may be entering a very difficult period where they might have to sell huge and then build then by signing somebody for 10 million and building them up and selling them on. They may have to become a sell to buy club in the sense of building up slowly instead of being able to throw money at everything, which again the Saudis would possibly want anyway. But Jordi also saying Liverpool v Leverkusen Europa final. Xabi Alonso custody case. Match winner takes him as a manager next season. It's not bloody, was it Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio and you win a kid for it. But I don't know. The hopeful dream is, of course, Xabi Alonso at Liverpool next season. Again, we don't know much on that, but again, having the background structure sorted, possibly even more additions backstage to things as well. We'll get onto that in a minute. But again, it looks like the Liverpool are good behind the scenes and hopefully are getting the next manager sorted. Now while we've got Edwards in and obviously Will Hughes as well. So again, things are looking good for us at the minute. But getting on to, again, Liverpool, Man United, the biggest game in the calendar, I would say, for both Liverpool and Manchester United supporters. Again, the last time we played them in the FA Cup, I believe, was in 2021. We lost that game, unfortunately. It was at Old Trafford 3-2. I believe that's when we were phasing out of that horrific phase where I think we lost 7 in a row at Anfield, and that was the game that realistically changed Liverpool for that season. Again, thank you, Man United, because we got Champions League football that season. But Rick, are you excited? Are you nervous for this game? I think obviously a game before the international break as well. It looks to be Liverpool full strength potentially, apart from Ibu Konate. But what's your thoughts going into the United game?
Yeah, I'm confident as ever. Going to Old Trafford. Obviously, we drew at home to them in the league this season. We've still got to play them away in a couple of weeks' time in the league. But let's be honest, they're shit. I mean, it won't surprise me if Ten Hag plays counter-attacking football tomorrow. He'll sit deep, try to absorb the pressure and hit us on the counter-attack. And then I just think their fans will get on his back and the team's back, because that's not how Man United should be playing against Liverpool, especially at Old Trafford. But I just think we'll be too strong for them. Obviously, we've got some players coming back from injury. When we go into the lineups a bit later, it could possibly a very strong lineup that we've got. Obviously, Gravenberch should be in the squad. Klopp's confirmed. I think Trent Jota probably the week after the international break, so they'll be there. Yeah, like Geordie's put there, errors come to an end. To be fair, he's right. Ten Hag's right. Errors do come to an end because Klopp's leaving. Pep's potentially got one more year at City. So errors do come to an end, and it probably leaves him and Arteta of the two. That could be the new Pep and Klopp. Arteta and Ten Hag.
He won't be Manchester United manager next season.
No, I think he goes. They asked, what was it, Gary Neville, they know already Man United's board if they want to sack Ten Hag in the summer. I think he goes.
I think they get Thomas Tuchel next season. There's too much talk about that, and there's too much of him saying about Manchester United. I had this weird feeling for a while that Thomas Tuchel will be Manchester United manager next season.
I think it'd be Potter.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Potter gets the Man United job because obviously Potter was at Nice with what's his
with
name?
Radcliffe.
Yeah, with Radcliffe. He was there with them, so they've obviously got a very good relationship. So it could be Potter going there. I think Tuchel's just begging for jobs. He's put his name in the Barca hat, the Man United hat.
Yeah.
He even said he'll go back to Chelsea if it was available. Liverpool, he wants the Liverpool job as well.
He can stay far away from the freaking Liverpool job.
Yeah, Tuchel's pretty much handing his CV to every Newcastle. Wouldn't shock me if Newcastle for Thomas Tuchel. It'd be.
I thought one name, Geordie, as well. I know Nagelsmann to Newcastle.
He's on Liverpool's list. He's
I
on
know
Liverpool's
he's on
list of three.
list.
Yeah, the list of three. Apparently, he's in. Listen, there's going to be loads of jobs this summer. Real Madrid job could potentially be up with what's going on over there with Ancelotti. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be like I don't think there's going to be that many transfer signings for clubs this summer due to FFP, but it could be the busiest manager signing.
Managerial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you raise a good point, and it is going to be a huge summer for a lot of teams. It would be the summer where like Jurgen's gone, yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna go, and then he's like, yep, I'm gonna leave Liverpool in the best possible place, and the one manager that we want, and really desperately want by the looks of things, is of course in a war between us and Bayern Munich for him. But like I said, I think last week, I do think still it is between him joining Liverpool or staying at Leverkusen for a further year, because
bottle job, isn't it? Klopp's a bottle job for leaving.
No, he's not.
Listen, I still don't understand why Jurgen Klopp wants to leave this unbelievable Liverpool squad that he has now. But I'm going to ask you a question.
Go on.
I asked you the other day, I can't remember who you said. I asked Jack, if you had the choice to pick Jurgen Klopp to stay or Michael Edwards to come back and do what he's about to do at the club, one of them can stay and one has to go. Who do you keep?
I said this, and I'd say Jurgen Klopp.
See, I'd pick Michael Edwards over Klopp.
Yeah,
just purely on the structure of what he could bring to the club. Like he's going to bring, the structure is going to be there. Managers come and go, structures stay. People like Edwards have to stay in that structure because they set the foundations up for the managers to come in. We see when Klopp started taking full control over things, it started to get a little bit wobbly in terms of last season.
I look at it, and in that sense, you are right. You are in terms of the structure, and the structure will be laid down for a long period of time. But I just look at Jurgen Klopp, and you cannot recreate a guy like that. You can't like look at the end of the. And I was saying this to a fella on Friday, and he said, "What's your thoughts on Klopp going?" And I said, I'll be gutted when it is the last game of the season, and I don't think you'll fully take it in that he's gone until he's at somewhere else, whether that be a club or a nation or whatever, and then you realize that Jurgen Klopp's not around anymore. And I think for my lifetime and for yours, this era of Jurgen Klopp, it's been the best time ever to be a Liverpool supporter. We've had downs, sure we have, but the highs that we've had over the last 9 years or 10 years going on has been the best. And there's only certain managers in history that can ever do that, and he's one of them. Because for me, next season they need to get that statue of Jurgen Klopp sorted outside Anfield. But yeah, let's know your guys' thoughts in the chat. Would you would you take Jurgen Klopp or would you take the Michael Edwards and the structure? I think it'd be a bit of debate about that for sure. But John's asked thoughts on Bobby Clark so far. I think a nice, tidy player has potential, in my opinion. Adam Lallana 2.0. I mean, you're not saying that?
I think he's the ceiling's a bit higher than an Adam Lallana type player. Listen,
No,
Adam
but
Lallana, I get
the disrespect of Adam Lallana.
Yeah.
2016 Adam Lallana was so good.
Listen, Adam Lallana was a good player. I just think Bobby Clark could be better. But it's going to be interesting for these young players. Jaden Dan's obviously just signed a new long-term deal. Bobby Clark, McConnell, Gordon, Doak, Bradley's a bit more in the picture. But when this new manager comes in, what happens to these young players? Because obviously Klopp was the one that brought them up, played them. But there's another young. If Jabi Alonso does come in, there's another young player that's out on loan at Wigan, I believe it is, Luke Chambers.
Yeah.
Jabi Alonso tried to sign him in the summer for Leverkusen, and he's a left back. So could he be the left back instead of signing one? Alonso could look, if we do get Alonso, could look to play him more in that role that he tried to sign him for Leverkusen in. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, hopefully the young players still get a chance, even with the new manager. And if it's Alonso, they will, I believe, I think. Because Clark's got enormous talent. McConnell, I think McConnell could do with a loan next season. I think he looks, although they're all around the same sort of age, he looks more of a kid than the other ones.
I think it's a real headache though as well. Tyler Morton's another one. I think it's a headache because he's been. I think when you look at the metrics for under 21s, I think Tyler Morton's been up. And I know it's the championship before anyone has a go at me, but the stats are there that he's been performing at such a high level. Like it could be good for Liverpool next season to have him in the mix, whoever comes in.
I think he goes.
Do you actually?
I think Liverpool cashing on him. Tyler Morton and Cavalier, I think they both go. I think just you could probably get maybe 15 mil for Tyler Morton and 15 mil for Cavalier. So that's 30 mil already there for the next manager to come in.
I do think though, if Alonso was to be the next manager of Liverpool, I think Cavalier will be given a chance. I think we move. I think we play 4-3-3 next season, but I think we play it differently to what we do now. So it'll be more. I think we'll have 1-10 and then 2 6-8s, maybe instead of having 2 8s and a 6. But again, we have no clue until whoever comes in next season.
Elliot will be good as a 10.
Him
or Szoboszlai will be the two for me.
Yeah. I look at it. It's the thing is though, it's exciting though, isn't it? The fact that we're talking about the youth and Bobby Clark's definitely again he's probably not going to feature against Manchester United, because again of that ankle injury, but still the impact he's had in the season. Jaden Dan's another one like you mentioned. I think Connor Bradley deserves a massive shout for what he's done so far this season, because in previous seasons we've missed Trent in big games, and Connor Bradley doesn't look out of place in this Liverpool team. I think if Alonso does come in, if he is the manager next season for Liverpool, I think Connor Bradley may be our right back for next season on a full-time basis. I think Trent may get moved somewhere else into the team, whether that's midfield or anywhere else. I'm not so sure, but it will be an interesting couple of months for us anyway. But I assume he made the decision when you guys didn't qualify for the Champions League last season. It was in November, wasn't it? Jurgen decided to leave Liverpool. I'm also in the same bracket as Ricky. It's like once you've seen how good we've been, like going up to November and then afterwards, but if you listen to the interviews, what he's saying in the best term possible is for the
Bottled
best. He didn't bottle it,
Bottled
but
it. Bottled.
That's the thing though. If we do go on and win everything this
Mm.
season, he's done everything. Like, and that's the, just thinking about that, it just makes me go like, can we do it? Can we go on and win everything? It'd be, if we missed out on one trophy for you, would it be the FA Cup that you would miss?
Yeah. I
For
think
Premier League, Europa
yeah,
League?
in terms of how I rank them, the Premier League for me all day number one, even ahead of the Champions League. The Premier League is the one. It's harder to win the Premier League than it is harder to win the Champions League, in my opinion. And then obviously we've won the League Cup. If the League Cup was still there, I would have dropped that. But
Ditch that. Like,
I don't want to disrespect the FA Cup, because FA Cup's been probably maybe the biggest
tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the biggest club competition cup in world football, in my opinion, the FA Cup. But the Premier League for me is the one. Europa League's a bit of a, I wouldn't say a distraction, but it's more of like a party competition for us. Just at the start of it was, let's put the youth teams out in the group stage to see how all these young boys are and what level they're at. We've obviously passed that. We've got further along the competition, got Sparta Prague. I thought he went too strong on Thursday night with certain players, but I get it. I understood it. We're now into the quarterfinals of it. So who knows? But the Premier League, if it comes down to we need to keep players fit, I'll be dropping people in that FA Cup game. I'll be dropping people in the Europa League. Obviously, tomorrow you can put your full strength team out because we've got international break coming up. If there was a league game on Wednesday, let's say, for instance, I'd potentially be looking at a rotated squad tomorrow with a mix of first team and youth kids. But international break it is, so we can afford to go full strength. Obviously, we've got players coming back. Gravenberch's back in the squad. Jota, Trent. Who else are we missing?
Ali, potentially. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, Jota and Trent should be back the game after Brighton, is it?
I think Jota's borderline with Brighton, but I think Trent's definitely back after Brighton.
Because there was no conversation about Ali in Klopp's press conference, which is a little bit worrying. But obviously we've got Kelleher. Like Thursday night, I would have smashed Adrian in goal. Like we kind of we're one injury away from Kelleher from it all falling apart, in my opinion, with Adrian in goal. But listen, he wants to play games, Kelleher, so I get why he played, because when Ali's back, Ali goes straight back in. Although that won't be my choice, I think you'd have to earn your place back after the way Kelleher has been playing. But there is a few little rumours, a few little hearsays that Ali could potentially be gone this summer out of Liverpool.
Who's saying that?
There's murmurs about saying like it could be Klopp's leaving. Ali's achieved everything here. Wants to go try something else.
Where's he going to go? Like, there's
Real
no
Madrid,
way.
Real Madrid need a goalkeeper. Courtois done after that ACL injury.
They've got Courtois, lad. There's no way Alisson Becker's leaving Liverpool.
I don't think he will leave, but they could potentially be conversations with him going either this summer or the summer after. Because listen, he'd be what, 32? Van Dijk's 33. Yeah, listen, he can't say anything because he was saying sell Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's crap.
Oh yeah, chat. If you won this, by the way. So apparently Szoboszlai's not a good midfielder.
No.
So Jordan Henderson's a far better midfielder than Dominic
Jack wants Szoboszlai gone. Jack says he don't work hard enough. Doesn't do anything. Hey, Jack.
He's going to be fuming at that. But high thoughts on signing. Where do you think we need to strengthen the squad? Left back.
Centre
half. And get a proper DM in. So you can have Endo and that DM have it for the season. But then again, we don't know what's happening with who's going to be coming in next season. So depending on who the manager is, we may need something else. What people think Alisson is doing at Coutinho, Ricky. Henderson. To be fair, he's good. Henderson at Liverpool was good.
Henderson was shite, lad.
No, he was good.
No, listen, I could run around for 90 minutes.
We won the league. Henderson was a big part in us winning the league.
Yeah, he was 100%. He was a workhorse, but he was never going to win you another league title.
Major wham chatters, get off YouTube. Do you know what, McKindo? We've got recordings of you.
Yeah, McKindo. There's party chat, Discord recordings of you saying Szoboszlai is not good enough. He don't do enough. But
by the way, as well, you two at the start of the season about McAllister. I'm not going to let that down.
Listen, I still stick by my thing. McAllister's massively improved, but that's because he's playing in his
underrated. Like you lot were writing him off on freaking day one.
I was writing him off because he was playing as a DM, which he weren't. He was getting bullied, holding on to the ball too long at the start of the season, getting caught in possession and giving it away. We moved him further forward because of the Japanese warriors coming with his gum shield. Started burying midfielders, put Roger in his pocket last week. Him, Foden and De Bruyne all come out of Endo's pocket. But McAllister's a much better player going forward in that 8 role than he is in the 6.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And again, but Wataru Endo's been a massive impact on this season, or the end part of the season anyway. And again, that goes down to Jurgen Klopp as well. You know, I think if you go back and listen to interviews, in also saying that again, he was, just give us time with him and watch what he'll do. Jurgen Klopp give him time, and look what he's done.
Could you imagine we got Endo 2 years ago?
Oh,
what a player he'd be.
Well, he said, didn't he, that Klopp, that he's tried to get him for years, which, if that's the case, then why on earth didn't we do it years ago?
If Jurgen Klopp's been trying to get Endo for years, ain't no way Liverpool get bullied by Stuttgart in negotiations or transfers.
No, I don't think it was that. I just don't think Klopp got the go ahead for it.
Yeah, but that's going back to what I was saying with Edwards and his structure. We don't sign players over 30 years old with Edwards, and unless the data suggests that they have to be signed. Edwards want to sign Thiago. Let's be honest, he want to sign Thiago based on his injury record, his age, and the stats wanting him to sign Thiago. And now he's come back, Edwards. Obviously, Endo's there now. I don't think Endo gets a new deal, but it runs out in 2027 anyway, so he'll be 34.
Yeah, it's got a 4-year deal.
Does Edwards give Van Dijk and Mo Salah a new deal by both being over 30? Because we've seen in the past,
I've said this to you, and I've got shouted at.
Yeah, but he didn't give Henderson one. He wanted him sold, and that's what happened at the club. Gini Wijnaldum never got one. He never bowed down to Emre Can's release clause in his contract. Let him go. Bobby Firmino, Edwards suggested not giving him a new deal, which is what happened. These players hit a certain age, and Liverpool see no value in money unless it's stat proven.
Yeah, I think with Virgil and Mo, they are elite. I'm not saying I'm not saying that Gini Wijnaldum was an elite, because again, the best quality is availability, and Gini Wijnaldum was unbelievable for Liverpool in what we needed from him. But you look at Mo Salah again. Broke a record on Thursday. What was it? 7 consecutive seasons scoring 20 plus goals, which is unheard of by a winger. Again, you can say inside forward, but look, Mo Salah, winger, inside forward, doesn't matter. The fact that he's scoring the amount of goals is unheard of and ridiculous. And for me, he's the best Premier League winger of all time. People talk about Ronaldo. It's not. It's Mo Salah. And Virgil van Dijk, again, this season, I think Virgil's been quite honest in how last season affected him. And again, that I think the major thing is the midfields last season. You look at there was one point last season when we was relying on Harvey Elliott and Stefan Bajcetic in the middle because the rest of them wasn't performing well. And of course, that's going to affect your defense. This season, look how good he's been. And when people go on about Virgil van Dijk not being the best centre-back of all time, I think it's laughable because everyone speaks about Vidic, and you might laugh at this as well, but everyone speaks about Vidic and Ferdinand and John Terry. John Terry is a close second for me. But there's a reason why Vidic and Ferdinand were considered at being the best, because they complemented each other so well. Virgil van Dijk has had Gomez, Phillips, Kanate, friggin' Jordan Henderson next to him as centre half, and still performed at such a high level. And he's never had a consistent partner. And when he has done, i.e. Joe Gomez back when we won the league, I think we conceded, 14 goals from 32 games? I think it's ridiculous. But go on. Who's your best centre back then? Go on then, because he's smiling.
Just quick one. I think Edwards and that Richard Hughes throw contracts at Mo Salah and Van Dijk to sign and give them what they want, because I think the stats prove and the statistics prove that they're doing the job still at the highest level, even at that age. I think they both get a new deal personally. But the Van Dijk, the best of all time in the Premier League, it's a bit of, for me, it's a grey area, because you've got to look at
you can't compare.
No, Van Dijk fits in that era at centre half in the Premier League. Vidic wouldn't suit this Premier League now, modern day Premier League. John Terry would. Rio Ferdinand definitely would. Obviously, Company only recently went anyway. He did. I would put, for me, the best defender of all time in the Premier League is John Terry. I just think he was unbelievable what he does. I think if you're comparing Van Dijk to any of these centre halves, I think the most same style, same sort of ability comes close is Rio Ferdinand. I think they're both massively ball playing centre halves. In Ferdinand and Van Dijk, cool on the ball, calm, score goals. I just don't think you can judge the best defender of all time, because I just think there's different eras and different type of football. John Terry's won multiple Premier League titles.
The best defender of all time in Europe is probably Maldini.
Yeah,
but I mean, in terms of Premier League, I think everything you want from a centre half is Virgil van Dijk. You don't agree with me?
Listen, I love
John Terry can't pass.
I love Virgil. That's a myth, that is. I love Virgil van Dijk, and he will go down as Liverpool's best ever centre half, 100%. Although the likes of Hansen, it's just Van Dijk is just a different level to them. But it's hard, man. Because I got obviously I'm a bit older than you, so I grew up with it's just Vidic for me, no. But Van Dijk's levels above Vidic. His levels above Sol Campbell. You got your Tony Adamses, who was.
Would you say your partnership then is John Terry and Virgil van Dijk?
Yeah. But I do think Rio Ferdinand is a very, very close in that bracket with them three. Them three for me are the ones. I'm not putting no order on them but them three are for me. Vincent Kompany was a very good defender. But again, he was in that Man City team where I could have fucking been centre half. But them three, Terry, Ferdinand, and Van Dijk, for me are the three best. I'm not having Vidic. Vidic still has nightmares over Torres. Do you see the tweet from is it Fletcher, who played for Blackpool?
Yeah.
He tweeted this week, didn't he? Said that he'd give Vidic the run around home and away. And what was it? He's bang average.
They beat United away, didn't they, that season?
Yeah, Blackpool. Did Blackpool beat
Blackpool.
them?
I swear they did.
I don't think they did. I think the last day they did score a couple of goals at Old Trafford, but I think they got relegated at Old Trafford on the last day.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having that.
Manuel Silva, Virgil is not just the best centre back ever in the Premier League. He's the best of all time, even better than Maldini.
I could name you three. Maldini's better than Virgil van Dijk.
They're all going to be from AC Milan.
Nesta is better than Van Dijk.
You're trying to think about a third name now.
Yeah, I was trying to think the third name, but Nesta and Maldini are above Virgil van Dijk.
I don't know. If anyone's watching the repeat, let us know.
You're not telling me Virgil van Dijk's better than Maldini, are you?
No, I'm not. But he's again, Maldini is the best, but Maldini was a left back. I'm just saying. But
Baresi, yeah,
Baresi.
Beckenbauer, you got there. Van Dijk, better than Van Dijk.
Nesta, Cannavaro, clear of that Nesta named after. Certainly no.
Cannavaro is not better than Nesta.
Cannavaro only won people are going about Ballon d'Or. Cannavaro only won it because they don't give goalkeepers Ballon d'Ors.
Look at the stories. Real Madrid tried to sign Nesta for years, but he would never leave Italian football. Wouldn't leave AC Milan. That AC Milan team Nesta was in for me goes down as one of the best ever footballing teams in the 07, 05. That AC Milan team was unbelievable with Nesta in.
That whole 2005 team is a Hall of Fame team.
But how Liverpool won that Champions League in 2005, beating that AC Milan team on pens. That Milan team with Ancelotti's will go down for me as the best manager of all time. Carlo Ancelotti. His CV is just unbelievable. And how that 05 team, I know they were 3-0 up at half time, but how they just didn't come out and make it 6, that AC Milan team was unbelievable. The formation, they tried to do it at Real Madrid now, isn't he, with the Christmas tree diamond.
Stam's not in the conversation. Good, really good defender, but it's not in the conversation, unfortunately. Anyway, but we'll move off centre back topics and then that, but still, Virgil van Dijk is the best. Going to starting 11 predictions then for Sunday or for tomorrow. And let us know your guys' thoughts in the chat as well. For me, pretty much strong we can go for tomorrow. But what would yours be? Would it be full strength Liverpool or mixed bag?
Yeah, full strength purely because it's international duty. I'd rather them go tired for them games than resting anyone for it. I'd go Kelleher, Bradley, Quansah, Van Dijk, Robertson, Endo, McAllister, Jack's favourite man, Szoboszlai, Salah, Nunes, and Diaz for me.
Good. I'd go with that as well. Yeah, she's gone Kelleher, Bradley, Quansah, Van Dijk, Robbo, Endo, Maka, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Nunes, Salah. She's gone Gakpo on the left. I would.
Diaz.
Yeah, I'd go Diaz.
Yeah, Gakpo for me is not. I know he scored 2 in midweek. One being a very good flick off a Harvey Elliott shot. But Gakpo hasn't done enough for me recently to warrant being put in these big games starting.
For me, he's one to be worried about for next season because I think he stays next season. But past that, like I can see that all the good qualities of Cody Gakpo, and I can. But it's if a new manager comes in and again a position isn't established with Cody Gakpo, I think Liverpool will move him on while they can for money.
Question for you: why did we sign Gakpo?
Squad option. I think the ideal thing or the realistic thing was to create Bobby 2.0.
Do you know why I think we signed him?
It didn't work. Why?
We signed him purely because of price, and Man United were going to sign him.
I don't think.
We see it as an option too good to turn down for the price where the market was at the minute. Players were going for like 70, 80 million. That, let's be honest, for 30 million pound players.
What was it, 34 mil that we bought him for? Like,
so it's too good to turn down. Same as Luis Diaz.
If he plays, but I think Cody Gakpo would be amazing in a 10, but we don't play as with a 10.
You might do with Xabi Alonso if he comes in. Could Gakpo be the 10 in that formation?
Possibly.
For how big Gakpo is, he's a big boy, Gakpo, and he don't put his body around enough.
No.
He gets bullied on the ball at times.
I think one of the things as well is aerial duels. He doesn't win any.
It's like he can't jump.
Yeah. Like his biggest strength should be aerial, but it's not. And it's a shame that. But
he is one of the best, though. He is one of the best that when he gets the ball on the turn, on the halfway line, turns the man and drives with the ball. He is one of the best for me at that, in where he keeps the ball and he's very strong on it in terms of that building the next phase of play up. But we need to see more of it.
I hope he works out at Liverpool, by the way, before anyone else going, because I think his qualities are really, really good. Like, if you think back at the start of the season, I think a majority of people, like I didn't personally, but I think majority of people had Gakpo in their best Liverpool 11 for the season. I don't think that like people didn't have Nunes in, and Darwin Nunes has been excellent. Darwin Nunes has been. But obviously there's talk about Lucho as well in that. But yeah, as I've seen Diaz last games against Delort, he pocketed him. I want Gakpo on that left as well, says Red Machine. But yeah, I'd go same. I'd go pretty much the same apart from Lucho of left wing. I think Lucho hopefully will cook a lot inside out. Anyway, but
anyone know the referees?
I'll have a look. No, but score prediction for tomorrow. Who are you going to go with?
3-1. I think they score. He's back in Hoyland.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah. I think I'm hoping for a Nunes 2 goals. I think Nunes bullies that back line. Who's it? Johnny Evans. They're going to rock out against Darwin Nunes.
Yeah. Sorry, I am trying to find who the manager, the referee is for tomorrow, but I can't find who it bloody is. Let me double check that. It's John Brooks is the referee for tomorrow, so
yeah,
should be fun. But yeah, I think 3-1 sounds about right. I'm gonna go 2-0 though. I think we get 2-0 away win.
You think they don't score?
Yeah, no, I don't. They didn't do anything against us in the home league game that frightened us. Like, I know they had that one counter attack with Hoyland, but like I just can't see it. I can't see that United team scoring and beating this Liverpool team. I can't.
Do you know when you play like Football Manager and then like the game semantics is you play the team in the FA Cup away from home, but then you play them in the league a couple of games later. It always lets you win one out of the two. So if you had to pick one,
it'll be the league. It would be 100% the league. Yeah. Like, again, I want the FA Cup. I want to win all competitions, but it wouldn't be the be all and end all. Like the league, I think Liverpool are in the best position possible to go and win the Premier League title.
There's no replays either, is there? It's straight extra time.
No, it's straight extra time and penalties.
They need to scrap extra time off. They need to just go after 90 minutes straight into pens. I don't get why it's 2024 and we're still doing extra time in games.
Yeah, it's not the best in that sense. But Salah to be given an extension, no way he's going to be sold. Edwards, he wants to stay. We want him to stay. Age is just a bloody number. He's only 31, but he has been doing it for 7 years.
Saying that, Salah's Edwards' guy, isn't he? So
yep, he wanted him since 2012. And we finally got him in 2017.
Be a bit sentimental. Edwards is not sentimental; he's ruthless. But could he be sentimental and give Salah a new deal purely off of that?
Someone did ask earlier as well. I want to quickly say this before we do shoot off as well. Someone did ask earlier. I can't remember who it was about the 2 club ownership thing. Now we don't know much about it. We do know it's not going to be a feeder club. It's more or less well. It's but
They,
it's not going to be a
they
full-on
say it ain't.
City.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be a
because they don't
full-on
want to get.
City thing.
Because they don't want
But
to get done for it later on down the line when we pinch players for 4 mil and they're worth 60.
Manchester
But they're
City.
getting the Benfica guy, ain't they? They've approached the Benfica technical director.
which would complete the team behind the scenes. Which,
and
to be fair as well, one thing I will say quickly is Julian Ward. Don't be surprised if he doesn't come back either.
And it would suggest that it could be a team in Portugal they're looking at if they've gone for Benfica's technical director, knows the league and players around it. And also, South Americans love the Portuguese league, don't they? They tend to go there in Europe and do their thing there before moving.
It's finally good that Liverpool are looking at the South American market, because how many look at the last couple of players that we've gone to reportedly try and go and sign. Moises Caicedo, for example. You look at further down the line, Valverde at Real Madrid. Supposedly Liverpool were very interested in him, but bloody hell, we don't want to talk about him.
And there's this other kid that we're linked to this summer from the same team Endrick plays for.
Yeah.
Gulerim or
something like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to butcher his name.
There's been a few that we've been linked to for like the last 3-4 years, and we just haven't gone for it. I think I can't even remember the last Brazilian kid that we went for. Like I automatically think of Lucas Leiva when I say that, but I don't know if we've gone anyone.
Neymar. I think we've been in the conversations for Neymar. Because listen, West Ham were in the conversation for Neymar. We must have been there around that time.
That's like Blackburn going for Lewandowski. I just can't picture it.
It's mad. They bid 20 mil for Neymar. West Ham got rejected.
I wonder why. Neymar's dad's like, yeah, hang on a bit, son. We can get full money for this. Anyway, but yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comment section down below. Let us know your score predictions and your start 11 predictions in the comments. But yeah, I can't see United beating us tomorrow. I think Liverpool, we're just too good. Again, it's Man United. It's away from home. It's always going to be tough. But I just think this Liverpool team, the way we're playing at the moment, free flowing, I can't see nothing but a Liverpool win. If I'm being honest. Obviously, the main one tomorrow is injuries. Hopefully, no injuries. Go into the international break, then still in everything, and it's then the final stretch then for the season. Was it 10 games left in the league, Europa League to go through, FA Cup, semis? One thing I will quickly ask you before we do shoot off: if we do win tomorrow, who do you want in the semi-final?
Chelsea, because I can't be asked for another final with Chelsea at Wembley.
Yeah, but it's Wembley. It's a Wembley semi-final against Chelsea. I don't want that.
Yeah, if you're gonna look at it,
give me Coventry.
Yeah, it's got to be. If we get through, it's got to be Coventry in it. I mean, you could put the kids out against Coventry, with no disrespect, but and then I
don't know, man. They beat Wolves away, so
true. Yeah, but Wolves did put some kids out as well. City Chelsea would be nice to watch in there, because that's another hard game for. But City. I do think if both City and Arsenal get in the Champions League, play each other in the semis, the FA Cup's around that same sort of time as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Pep. But I think we could potentially get City in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and with the games he's got coming up, Champions League, Premier League, tough games, he could potentially feel the weakened side in that FA Cup, and we could do a favour. Coventry beat Chelsea. We get Coventry in the final. Who knows?
Happy day. But that's actually going to be an interesting time around that as well. But we're going to leave it there, guys. Hopefully, all of you have enjoyed the match preview show, obviously on the Cock Council and the 1892 Reds TV. Rick, thank you for coming along. I believe only a short distance away from 1,000. I think it's getting there.
I want to say 15.
Yeah. So if you are watching, if you are new, go over to the 1892 Reds TV, go and subscribe, get them to 1,000, and hopefully tomorrow you'll be on it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
but if you like I said, if you are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, as well. Also, if you could also share out the video on all socials, again, be massively appreciated. Tag us in it as well, and we'll like and retweet and all that good stuff, or repost or whatever it's on. We'll do that anyway. But yeah, so hopefully I'll speak to all of you guys tomorrow for the post match. Hopefully we'll be speaking about Liverpool beating United, and then we'll look forward then to an FA Cup semi-final. Anyway, but until next time, that's going to be it from us. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. See you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.